Welcome, everyone, to Burge's Power Hour. Oh, my goodness. Today is all about breakdown, breakthrough, break free, our pathway to freedom. So I'm excited to share with you tonight, and what I'm going to do is give you a couple of housekeeping agreements that basically I'm going to go ahead and keep you on open mic, if you will, so I'm not going to mute you. But if you do have background noise, could you please hit *6, *6 for background noise. And I'm going to take those nasty old tones off, so hold on a sec. Okay, so those entry and exit tones are off, so we won't hear like ding every time we're talking about something. And the other thing is, if there is a lot of background noise, I'll go ahead and just mute everybody, but I'll let you know if I do that. So if I mute everybody, all that means is if you want to share or say something or ask questions, all you have to do is hit *6, and that will unmute you, and you can share or say something or ask questions. And for all of you who do not know me, I am Burge Smith-Lyons. I am your host tonight. I am the founder of Essence of Being programs, all of our Essence of Being series of workshops. I've been doing this 25 years. I've been involved in personal transformation development for 36 years, so I've been around a couple of years. And tonight, what I do every month, at third Wednesday of every month, is we do a power hour just to connect with different topics that are going on in the world, and perhaps something that you can learn or discover, and we can share things together. So welcome all my first-timers and all of you who are on every single month. Awesome. And those of you who are Essence of Being graduates, a special shout-out. Yay. Looking forward to playing with all of you more. And those of you who have not dipped your toe in yet and experienced any of our transformational, experiential, and all those big words, workshops and play shops, I invite you to come play. The workshop is Essence of Being, or that is our first one, and the website is essenceofbeing.com for you to go and look at, so you can see all the new cool stuff coming up. And you can also find out more about me at burgesmithlyons.com. And Burge is...
Wait, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Burge what?
It's Burge Smith Lyons. It's BURGESMITH.
I'm so sorry. I have BIR.
No, BU. U as in ugly.
Okay.
BURGE, Burge. That's my first name, Burge. Burge Smith Lyons. Or you can just go to essenceofbeing.com, and you'll be able to see you'll see my name in lights there, and you'll be able to write it down. So, but it's not about me. This is about all of us together exploring how to break down, break through, break free, and our pathway to freedom. That's what it's all about tonight. So I welcome all of you. And before I begin, I just wanted to give a little, if everybody could just take a minute, and let's just send healing energy and prayers and connections and white light or whatever you want to send, and just take a moment to say we want to have people feel safe in Mexico and Puerto Rico and Florida and Texas and all of the things that have happened recently all around the world with these seemingly breakdowns that we're having in our natural disasters and all the other things that are happening in the world. So I just want for us to stop for 1 second and just say, thank you, I appreciate all that I have and who I am, and send just a moment's thought or a prayer or something of healing energy to anybody that's in these affected areas, and support them in moving through what could be devastating to them. So, again, I wrote a blog recently about the eye of the hurricane, and the eye is not the I-E-Y-E, but it's the eye, like the big I, just capital I, because we are the eye of the hurricane. And I welcome and encourage you to go and read that blog on the site as well. So I just want to say that no matter what's going on in your life, if you're having breakdowns, that means you're on your way to a breakthrough, right? It's so much
That's where I'm at now.
Pardon?
I said that's where I'm at now. I just had my breakdown, and I'm ready for my breakthrough.
Perfect. So what we're going to do is I want to just kind of chat a little bit about what that means, give you some tools and exercises and things to play with on what is breakdown, what is breakthrough, and what is break free, and how to get through all of that. So as you know, for those of you who listen and play with me a lot, it's very experiential. So I want you to make sure you have pencil and paper ready so that you can jot down some things if you choose to play. If you're listening in the car, please don't stop driving and to jot this down. But you will get, if you registered, you will get this recording so that you can do your own experience and discovering for yourself later. So a breakdown in a marriage can be a divorce. A breakdown in health can be basically you get sick or you lose weight or you gain weight. A breakdown in a business, you could go bankrupt. A breakdown in a job, you could get fired. Of course, I always say you're freed. You know, someone gets fired. Yeah, you're free. So these are specific breakdowns that a lot of people go through. And unfortunately, most people that I come in contact with, and I teach this all around the world, and what I have found is most people, they change through breakdown. They grow through a breakdown. And it's a very, very painful way to shift and change. So when people have these relationship issues or health issues or their business or job or money, they have these big, huge breakdowns, that's when all of a sudden they get to look at, wow, I better make a change or I'm going to stay stuck in this. So just think about it. When do you lose weight? After you get a divorce. When do you think about being healthy? Is when you're sick. When do you move to the next level for yourself? You might get freed from a job and you say, well, now I'm going to finally do what I really wanted to do all my life. I'm going to use this as an opportunity. So what happens is most people will grow through that breakdown. And it's very painful. So there are other ways. There are other ways to grow. And so once you have a breakdown, you can use that to help you and motivate you to get you to the breakthrough stage and then break free. So it's breakdown, breakthrough, break free. So what I want us to do is let's start backwards, okay? Let's imagine, if you will, let's say that you broke free. Let's go there first. If you broke free of any limiting beliefs or any self-imposed barriers, what would your life be like? So I want you just to ponder that for a minute. What would my life be like if I'd broken free of all the barriers that I have, of any limiting beliefs, any seeming obstacles or walls that I have? So what would your home be like? So I want you just to imagine that you've already broken free. So just jot down really quick, where would you be living? So I'm going to go ahead and mute you because there's a lot of background noise, okay? So if you want to speak, just hit *6. So basically, what would your life be like where would you be living if you were broken free of all of those things that bind you? Where would you be living? What would your home look like or your space be like? Just jot that down real quick. And then let's say you broke free of any health issues that you might be having. What would that feel like? Let's say you've broken free of any health issues whatsoever, that you feel alive and connected and powerful and no pain at all. What would that feel like? Just jot that down. What would it feel like? And then, if I'm going too fast, it's okay. You can go back and imagine even more. But let's imagine a relationship, some kind of a connection, whether it be your current relationship or any relationship where you feel like you've broken free of any negative thoughts or any negative ways of communicating. Or what would it look like? What would you feel like? Who would be with you? Where you could say, I feel free. I'm free in my relationship. And again, I know I'm moving a little fast, but I definitely want you to ponder these things. You can jot things down, or stream of consciousness writing where you just jot down the first things that come up. How about your family? What would your family be like if you broke free of any of the past, of any expectations about your family, or projections about who they're supposed to be or how they're supposed to treat you? If you were free, what would your family be like? Just imagine it. How would they treat you? How would you treat them? And then let's go to your business. Let's say you're in business for yourself, or you want to be in business for yourself, or you're in a job that you love. Let's say whatever that is for you, whatever your work or play is, what would you be doing? If you were free, if you truly broke free, what would you be doing? Business-wise, job-wise? How would you be contributing to the world? Who would you show up as? You're free to be, work and play. What would that feel like? And adding on top of that, what would your finances look like? If you were free, where you felt you weren't bound, that you have to create income, is that what freedom means to you? What does it feel like? What does it mean to you to be free financially? What does that mean? If I were free financially, I would be So just look at this list, and you can add to that, because remember what Einstein said, imagination is great power. So if you can imagine, what is freedom to me? What does breaking free mean? Breaking free from limiting thoughts. Breaking free from the obstacles or perceived walls that I have. Really imagine it. And just notice if you can't imagine it. Notice if it's hard. Because oftentimes our belief systems get in the way, right? In order for you to achieve breaking free, you have to be able to understand what your belief systems are that are preventing you from doing that. So in order for you to achieve everything you just wrote down, what belief systems would you need to break through? What would you need to break through? What do you think is holding you back from having those things, from being those things on an emotional level? On an emotional level, what do you think your belief system is? What's holding you back? Or a physical level, what's holding you back? What belief systems on that physical level do you have? For instance, money. If you have a belief system that all rich people are greedy and arrogant, then why would you want to become one? Why would you want to be a rich person? Nobody wants to be called arrogant, right? Or greedy. So that could be a block right there. That's a belief system that's actually blocking your prosperity. So think about everything you wrote down. What belief systems do you think are blocking it? Why can't you have all those things? Why can't you be all those things? On a spiritual level, is there anything that's blocking you? For instance, maybe money is the root of all evil. Let's just stay with the money piece for a minute. You know, that could be a belief system that was handed down to you. Our belief systems are handed down oftentimes, and they're not even ours. So what was handed down to you, perhaps, or maybe that you just picked up somewhere along the way? What's a belief system that's blocking you from breaking free of that relationship that's no longer working for you? Or breaking free of pain in your life? So I call that your bubble talk, and whenever you do any of our play shops or workshops that we do, we go to the bubble talk, which is your unconscious belief systems or your subconscious belief systems that keep you from getting what you want. It's that little bubble above your head, sort of like a cartoon character. So you say one thing, but your bubble up there says something else. And they've proven now that our subconscious, we have 40,000 more subconscious thoughts than one conscious thought. I mean, how crazy is that? And if that's true, then how important is it for you to know what your bubble talk is? And that's what we're talking about here, are your belief systems that are so ingrained, they're subconscious, and we operate from that level. They overpower us, and we get to look at our lives and say, see, that's the evidence. I've got all the evidence that it's hard to have a really good relationship, or I can't be free financially, or my health is all messed up. Pardon?
Quick question. The bubble talk you're talking about, is that a different day from this? Is it like a workshop? Like, where is that? Like, what is it?
Yes. Essence of Being is the workshop. We have a lot of different workshops and play shops, and in those workshops, that's where we go. We go to your bubble talk, whether it has to do with relationships or prosperity or health or your purpose or business. So we go to those belief systems and subconscious beliefs in every single program that I do. And we find out what your bubble talk is. So that's just,
and is that always on the phone, or is that like a meetup?
No, it's live.
Okay.
These are live events. I mean, it's okay. We have online classes as well, but I believe in having that connection, and so I have live events all around the world, and they are workshops. They're 3-day events or 5-day events, depending on the level of because we have graduate levels as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So what happens here is once you find out what your bubble talk is, you find out what your subconscious beliefs are, and some of this you probably already wrote down. You know, what's preventing you from moving forward? What's preventing you from breaking free? So you have to break through to something. But let me give you an example. Let me give you a formula to use in order to really have a pathway of freedom. If you could, hon, just hit *6 again, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you. So what happens is I'm going to give you this formula for change, to be free, a pathway to freedom. So here it is. And those of you who have taken Essence of Being and some of my other workshops, this will be, hopefully, you'll remember this formula. But this is what you write down. C as in cat, right? C equals, and then do a parentheses. So you didn't think you were going to learn math tonight, huh? So do a parentheses, and then put the letter V as in Victor, then a plus sign, then B as in breakdown, and then a plus sign, and then P as in Paul, and then close parentheses, and then make a little greater than sign. Do you remember the greater than sign that you learned perhaps in algebra? So greater than, and then you put the letter X, like X marks the spot. That is called the change formula.
The greater sign is facing what the formula just gave us, or towards the opposite direction?
Towards the opposite direction.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
And then what's after that?
X, like X marks the spot. So that's the change formula. So let me explain this so that this is a very, very powerful formula for you to follow so that you don't have to have a lot of breakdown in your life and grow through pain, so that these breakthroughs that you have can happen more often on your way to break free. So C, of course, these mean something, right? All these letters mean something. So C, the first one, C as in cat, it means change. So it stands for change. So change equals some combination of V plus B plus P is greater than X. So V stands for vision. Vision. A vision is something that you hold in your heart for something that you're holding as a way to connect with your future and to bring it into your present moment. A vision is something that you hold in your heart and in your head, of something that you are moving toward, that you are creating. A vision is not just a mission statement, okay? A vision is, who am I showing up as? It's an emotional, physical, spiritual, mental vision, something that you are moving toward. And if your vision is really, really juicy, and you can hold that vision no matter what happens, you can have all kinds of breakdowns, but you know you're on your way. No matter what, that vision is clear, it's crystal, and you're focused on it. So a vision, you can create a vision a lot of different ways. And when I started doing this back in the early 70s, this was new, doing a treasure map or a vision board. But hopefully most of you have heard of those before, where you cut out pieces of pictures off magazines and you cut out words and you make a big collage and you post it all together, make a big poster board, and it's this big collage of all the things that you're creating. That's your vision board. It's something that you really feel excited about, juicy. And this vision board is something you can create, and you can keep it up in your office or keep it up in your home, and you're looking at it every day, and you're saying, I'm creating that. That's happening for me. It's coming. And you can be very specific with it. It could be all about relationship. It could be all about health. It could be all about money. It could be all about business, or a combination. And so the subconscious is constantly looking at that. And whenever you look at it, you say to yourself, I'm creating that. It's coming to me. I'm creating that. That's one way to hold your vision. Another way is you write a vision. And instead of writing a New Year's resolution this year, go ahead and write your vision like it's already happened. That's what I do. I write a vision like I'm reflecting on the year like it's already passed. So, for instance, at the end of this year, you would be writing about how your 2018 turned out. And you would write the vision as, this year was the best year I ever had. I felt the best. I was pain-free, and I had the most brilliant relationship and the most brilliant business model, and my finances were all in order, and I felt good about myself, and I contributed to the world, and I know that I made a difference, and my family are all communicating in a healthy way. You know, whatever you want to envision, you write like it's already happened. You're reflecting on it. And you want to make it really juicy, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So I encourage all of us, you don't have to wait, by the way, till the end of the year. You could do it now. And just envision what that would be. So if your vision is really, really powerful, this formula is going to work a lot faster and easier. So let's go to what B stands for. B stands for breakdown. So you can have these huge breakdowns in your life and grow from that and change from that. My suggestion is these little breakdowns that we have, we can use these breakdowns as a reminder of, oh, that's right, I'm breaking through. Oh, that's right, I'm breaking free. To change our perspective about these breakdowns and just know that if it didn't happen, just think about it. If things happened in your life, you look back on it and you go, wow, if I hadn't have broken up with so-and-so, then I wouldn't have this now. Or if I had stayed at that job or tried to keep that business going, then I wouldn't have this, or I wouldn't have been able to do the next step. So you look at hindsight, right? So any breakdown that you have, just trust that breakdown, there's a gift in there. There's a gift. And I always say, you know, with all this poop, you know, that might be happening around us, and I mean poop, like P-O-O-P, all this crap that's happening around us, there's got to be a pony in there somewhere, right? In other words, there's got to be a gift in all of this somewhere. I got to have my pony. So look at every breakdown as a way for you to, it's motivating you to move. So the breakdown doesn't have to be really, really heavy duty. It doesn't have to be intense. It might be just a little nudge. If your vision's really strong, your breakdown doesn't have to be very big. And then P stands for plan. A plan is practical steps on how you're going to get there. So there was a study done in Harvard of these MBA graduates, and they studied 100 of them. And they asked these 100 graduates, who has a plan? What are you going to do after you graduate? Well, 70 of those graduates, they didn't know. They didn't really have a plan. They just knew they were going to make money. 27 of them had a plan. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. And then 3 of them had a plan, and they had a written plan. It was actually written down step by step. So they studied these people, and they studied them for 10 years. They came back after 10 years and asked them, you know, how you doing? Well, the 70 that didn't know what they were going to do, they were doing okay. Most of them were doing all right. They made some good money. The 27 of them made twice as much, okay, as the ones who didn't have a plan. So the 27 of them that had a plan made twice as much as the others. And phenomenally, the 3 that had a plan and had a written plan and they followed their plan, they made 10 times everyone combined. So having that plan is critical. And have a written plan, practical steps on how you're going to achieve it. And it's a tricky thing sometimes. You have to be willing to change your plans a little bit. Not change your vision, but you might have to be a little flexible on your plans. So some combination of your vision plus breakdown plus your plan has to be greater than X. And X stands for the perceived fear of change. The perceived fear of change. See, most people, when I say to people, hey, you want to change anything in your life? No, not really. I don't like where I'm at, but at least it's familiar. And a lot of people are afraid to change because it's uncomfortable. It's the unknown. And so it's a perceived fear that we have. Some of us have a fear of making mistakes. That's why we don't put ourselves out there, because we don't want to make a mistake. And part of what I teach is Buckminster Fuller's thoughts about mistakes are learning experiences. The more mistakes we make, the more we learn. It's part of the process. And so if you're allowing your fear to stop you because you're afraid you're going to make a mistake, or that you're going to look stupid, or that you're not going to make it, then that fear keeps you frozen, it keeps you stuck. And what I'm trying to share with you tonight, 7 out of 10 millionaires go bankrupt at least once. Me included. So we're all in good company here. Because we're playing the field. Where the only failure is the failure to participate. So don't let that perceived fear stop you. Sometimes you have to get uncomfortable. Think about it. You have to be uncomfortable sometimes. You have to be uncomfortable enough for you to move. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you're doing a fire walk with me, okay? Because we do fire walks in our advanced classes, okay? So let's say you're going to step on you're just standing there looking at the fire, and you're going, there's no freaking way I'm going to step on that fire. No way, no way, no way. So you allow your fear to basically stop you because it's the unknown. It's like, I don't know what that's going to feel like. But if a bear comes along and sneaks up behind you and starts charging, what are you going to do? Now you have motivation. Now the fear of the unknown is not as important as the fear. You have another fear that you don't want to get eaten. So what do? It moves you. That fear of being eaten actually moves you through that, walking on those coals, and you're fine. You get to the other side. So my point is, what do you do with your fear? Do you allow it to motivate you, or does it keep you stuck? So here's the thing. You have to have a greater fear of the unknown, okay? It outweighs the risk. That's going to keep you stuck. If your fear of the unknown outweighs the risk, that keeps you stuck. You can't break through. You just keep having these little breakdowns, and you're just not breaking through. So risking can be uncomfortable because the fear of staying stuck is too painful. So the only way you're going to be able to move is your desire has to be great enough to move. You have to risk being uncomfortable because sometimes that fear of staying stuck is just too painful. It keeps you having breakdown after breakdown after breakdown, and you just keep going in circles. So you have to have a good why. You have to have a desire that's greater than your fear. So that desire to live when the bear is chasing you is greater than the fear of walking on the coals. So here's something I want to share with you. This is called fear of transformation. So sometimes, see if this feels like you. Sometimes I feel that my life is a series of trapeze swings. I'm either hanging on to a trapeze bar, swinging along, or for a few moments in life, I'm hurtling across space in between trapeze bars. Most of the time, I spend my life hanging on for dear life to my trapeze bar of the moment. It carries me along a certain steady rate of swing, and I have the feeling that I'm in control of my life. I know most of the right questions and even some of the right answers, but once in a while, as I merrily or not so merrily swinging along, I look ahead of me into the distance, and what do I see? I see another trapeze bar swinging towards me. It's empty, and I know in that place in me that knows that this new trapeze bar has my name on it. It's my next step, my growth, my aliveness going to get me. In my heart of hearts, I know that for me to grow, I must release my grip on the present, well-known bar to move to the new one. And each time this happens to me, I pray that I won't have to grab the new one. But in my knowing place, I know that I must totally release my grasp on my old bar. And for some moment in time, I must hurtle across space before I can grab onto the new bar. Each time I'm filled with terror. It doesn't matter that in all my previous hurdles across the void of unknowing, I've always made it. Each time I'm afraid I'll miss, that I'll be crushed on unseen rocks in the bottomless chasm between the bars. But I do it anyway. Perhaps this is the essence of what the mystics call the faith experience. No guarantees, no net, no insurance policy, but you do it anyway. Because somehow, to keep hanging on to that old bar is no longer on the list of alternatives. And so, for an eternity that can last a microsecond or 1,000 lifetimes, you soar across the dark void. This is called transition. Transition zones in our lives are incredibly rich places. They should be honored, even savored. Yes, with all the pain and fear and feelings of being out of control that can sometimes accompany transitions, they are still the most alive, most growth-filled, passionate, expansive moments in our lives. So just remember, hurtling through the void, we just may learn how to fly. So the next time you feel like you just can't let go of your trapeze bar, and you know there's something else out there for you to break through so you can break free, you have to kind of let go. You have to let go of that, what does not serve you any longer. You have to let go of the fear and have a good why. Why should I let go? Why should I break free? If you don't have a good why, you won't leave. So use that breakdown, use the fear, use that to move toward the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And it's hard sometimes. I know it's hard sometimes when you're in the middle of it all. I mean, it's really hard sometimes. I mean, if somebody's lost their house through these hurricanes and through all of the disasters and the earthquakes, it's hard sometimes to say, wow, I'm supposed to do what with this? I'm supposed to this is a huge breakdown for me. What am I supposed to do? I know I'm on my way to breaking through. So I know sometimes it can be difficult when you're in the middle of it. So I'm here to remind us that no matter what happens to us, no matter what we create around us, no matter what kind of breakdowns we have, we can use that and use that to know that we're breaking through to a whole nother way of being. Something even better is coming our way. To hold that faith, to know that we can use that. When I was bankrupt, when I'd lost my business, I'd lost my house, I was divorced, I had a 2.5-year-old son, I was a single mom, and all I had to my name was a car with one headlight and one door that didn't open, and I had to crawl inside the car through the window to get to my kid. You know, and it was really difficult sometimes for me to go, okay, this breakdown I'm having right now, I'm sure there's a pony in here somewhere. Why is this happening to me? I'm a good person. I'm adding value. I'm teaching workshops. Why did this happen to me? I'm making a difference in the world. Why is this happening? So I realized afterward that it was on my way through this. I had to go through this in order for me to break through my fear of thinking that I couldn't do it, that I wasn't good enough, of expectations, of all the masks I was wearing. I had to strip all that away and to really, really get on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level that I was making a difference and that all is well. And now, of course, I have millions in assets. I've been traveling around the world teaching all these philosophies and also facilitating these incredible experiences for people. My son graduated from NYU. He's been traveling around the world, singing and dancing and acting, doing what he loves, making money. I've been married with my beautiful husband now for 20 years. And if I hadn't gone through those experiences, I wouldn't be where I am now. And I realized the reason why I was going through all of that is so I could stand in front of you now and say to you, hey, look, I know what it feels like. And I know that this works. I'm a walking testimony that if you just don't give up on yourself, if you just don't give up, that this stuff works. So I don't suggest everybody go through the same kind of things that I went through. And I'm sure you've been through some pretty rocky roads, perhaps, your own life. And certainly the people that I've worked with in different countries have had a really, really way worse than that. I mean, threat of life, running for their lives. So everybody has a story. And the reason I tell you all of this is not to say, hey, look at me. I'm saying this so I can show you to say, hey, look at you. Whatever breakdown you're going through right now, it's on your way to breaking through. And whatever you're breaking through right now, those uncomfortable spaces, is on your way to breaking free. And you know what? If I lost everything again, I know all is well. I've been through it, and I know that all is well. I know that I'm breaking free to something else, even more than I could even think of. I trust and allow and don't ask how. So I encourage all of us to trust and allow and don't ask how. So when you're going through your breakdowns, know that you're on your way to breakthroughs. And when you're going through your breakthroughs, it can be uncomfortable. I mean, winning the lottery is uncomfortable for people. It puts them in this really uncomfortable place for a lot of people who win the lottery. And because they want to get back to their comfort zone, they self-sabotage. so that they can get back to what they are comfortable with. That's why so many people who win the lottery go bankrupt. I mean, ultimately. And, of course, all of this is subconscious. All of this is not something you wake up every day and go, I'm going to self-sabotage today. I'm going to create all kinds of crap in my life today so I can learn to break through. I mean, I doubt if any of us do that. But I'm here to remind you to look at the total picture here, that you make a difference, that you're loved, that you're wanted, that you're safe, and that you matter. No matter what. So what you made mistakes? That means you're learning. So use your breakdowns to motivate you to change, to shift and grow. Let go. Let go of that trapeze bar. Because if you keep holding on to the same trapeze bar, even though it's comfortable and even though you know it, it's just not worth it anymore. So your desire has to be stronger than your fear. Hopefully that made sense. Does anybody want to share anything or ask questions? All you have to do is hit start.
Start for me?
Hello? Hi, yes. I really just wanted to say on that comment you just said, I feel like I've been holding on to something for so long thinking it's going to work, and it's been bringing me back and back and back and back. And every time I reestablish, I've lost. And every time I reestablish, I lost. And I'm getting the concept now. It's because I'm trying to keep my comfort zone. And I really appreciate what you just said, because I think that everything has been speaking to me lately to tell me that this is what I need to do. And I'm so grateful I tuned in. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, and it's, how do you know, right? How do you know when this is your fear talking or if this is what you're supposed to be doing? I ask all the time, if I'm supposed to be doing this, can you make it a little easier? Can you make it?
No, I don't want it to be easy. My life has been hard. If I ever explained to you what I've been going through, you would have no idea that I'm even in the state that I am right now. But thank God, I believe in all this type of things, and I believe in subconscious. And it's just I've never had a teacher to direct me in this path to understand that the thoughts that I'm having are actually validated, because people I've been around don't understand these type of concepts, so it keeps me in a barrier.
Perfect. So surround yourself with like-minded people like us. We do exist, and there are a lot of us, and as long as you allow influences on the outside to affect your own belief system, I'm glad that you're saying that you're not allowing their influence to affect or shift or change your thoughts and your beliefs and your actions. So that's good. Mm-hmm. But I invite you to certainly come play with us in Essence Being and any of our other programs that we do anywhere in the world, and I would love to be able to play with you on that level, because if you surround yourself with people to remind you of who you really are,
right,
support you in these growth spurts and these philosophies and the real truth about you, the authentic you, which is you are powerful beyond belief.
Right, and nobody believes that. Even when I try to talk to my mom about it, she says I'm losing my mind.
Okay, well, and you don't listen to her, do you?
Well, no, I don't listen, but everybody's like, my family's kind of like, I don't know what's going on with Janelle anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, again, I encourage you, hon, to be able to just connect with us, stay with us in our healing forest energy is what I call it, so that you can learn more and play more. And remember, the only failure is the failure to participate. So participate, and don't allow other people to pull you off of your center, to pull you off of what you know is true for you. And the best way to be around all those people like that is just to demonstrate your integrity of who you are. Demonstrate what it looks like for somebody to stand in their power. Demonstrate their conviction. Demonstrate their commitment to their vision. And people eventually will see that, and they will honor that at some point or not. But it really doesn't matter. What really matters is what you think. What other people think of me is none of my business, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, the people that I actually brought that were good people in my life saw my vision and they believed in it, and they started like really understanding where I was coming from and helping them change their perspective on things. But then I got stuck with a bad relationship to where he brought me down a lot, and I tried to help him, but I realize now I just have to eliminate that.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you might want to listen to our power. We have Essence of Relationships, and that's one of the number one things is you can't fix each other. So if you start trying to help each other and fix each other, then more times than not, that's not going to work out very well. Because the only person you can really change is yourself.
Right. Thank you so much. And I'll let somebody else speak now. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Hi, Berg. It's Christina. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I'm in Hawaii still.
Hi, Christina. It's my Hawaii girl.
Yeah, and I just want to just tell everybody while I have the floor. I was at a networking event, and I saw Berg in Florida, and she was a guest. And within 15 minutes, she eradicated something that was existing for me my whole life from just this little game. And since then, I make it a point to be on as many calls as possible because I just think your work and you're just incredible. So I wanted to share that, and I wanted to thank you for today's call because I'm in Hawaii, my family's in Pennsylvania, and my dad died on Monday. He died about 5 days before I was scheduled to come home.
Oh, honey,
so
I'm sorry.
It's been, so this call about, C plus equals and all that and the breakdown, the space between my father and I has been clean for years because, I've been doing the work on myself for years and I really I'm responsible, I can create and all that. And when it came to my dad, there's nothing there and there hasn't been anything there but love. And so he's been sick, but he asked me not to come home because he didn't want me to see him weak, and I just wanted to honor him. So in honoring him, I never got to see him again. So I'm in this space of my family's a mess. So I'm literally going home to their grief as I'm feeling centered around the cleanliness that I have with my dad. And I'm noticing to hold my strength and to hold my power because I'm aware of the commitment my father and I had. But people in my family, they're like, why didn't you come home? And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to just stay strong through that. So your call today is probably one of the most important ones for me, quite frankly. So I thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome, honey. And listen, anytime you need support through any kind of grief process or certainly around your family, I have some fabulous ceremonies and things you can do for yourself and perhaps to share with them when they're ready on how to feel a little bit more complete. You may never feel totally complete, but feeling a little more complete with the whole thing. And certainly having empathy with people and how they feel and respecting how they feel, but taking responsibility for your thoughts and your beliefs and your actions, it's a powerful way to be. So that's a real compassionate place to be in. So if you need any more support, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I hope that all of you got something out of this, and of course I do it the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. And just so you know, the next time, October's going to be pretty crazy for me and busy, and I would love to see you in person. I'm going to be speaking at the Women's Prosperity Network in Orlando at the Women's Prosperity Network Unconference, October 13th through the 15th. And our two next EOBs, Essence of Beings, which is the 3-day flagship Play Shop workshop that I've been speaking about. We're doing it in Fort Lauderdale, October 20th through the 22nd. And we're doing it in Atlanta, October 27th through the 29th. So it's a very, very busy month, but please, I invite you to come. Check out essenceofbeing.com. And any of you who are wanting to spread your message to millions of people and to have an opportunity to speak to an international community and to contribute on an international level. I'm going to be going to Ecuador in the Galapagos in November, and we're shooting a TV show called Changemaker, and there are some slots left for thought leaders, people that have a message that want to get it out to the world and to be able to contribute to the world. This is going to be 15 episodes, and we're going to be in 3 of them. So I invite you, if you're interested, to come play with me in November, to go to Ecuador and the Galapagos and be on the TV show with me. I would love for that. We can have the producers connect with you. So all you have to do, if you're interested in that, is just email me, Burge, that's B as in boy, URGE at essenceofbeing.com. Essenceofbeing.com. So if you're interested in that, you can email me anytime for anything, clearly. But I would love to see all of you in person. Come play with me in October for our Florida events, our Atlanta event. And if you want to play with me in Ecuador, Galapagos, just shoot me an email real quick. And our next call.
I'm sorry, real quick question. The Fort Lauderdale one that you're hosting, is there a cost for it?
Oh, yes. These are the play shops. These are the workshops. This is the business that we do. So
okay, can you tell me
online, if you go online, you can see everything that's there. But I believe what you get is it's a whole 3 days, 3 days, day and night, very intense weekend. But believe me, you don't even know it's over with by the time it's over with. But for 3 days and nights, it's $847. And that includes 2 coaching sessions, 2 one-hour coaching sessions you get after the workshop. So you'll get the full 3 days plus 2 one-hour coaching sessions after the workshop. And it's a very, very intense 3 days, but it is, some people tell me that when they go through these experiences, it's like going through whatever, I hate to call it therapy, but other people call it therapy, and they say, it's like going through 10 years and 15 years of growth within a weekend, and you have tools that you can use for the rest of your life. Plus, you get to be part of our Healing Forest, which means anytime you take these classes, you can always come back for free anywhere we're teaching it in the world and just audit the class or be in the room or staff. So it's, and it's a money-back guarantee. So if you feel like you didn't get your money's worth, we always give you your money back. And just over 25 years, so far, haven't given anybody's money back, so we're good to go.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It sounds good.
So October 18th will be the next power call, everybody. And on that power call, we are going to be, really because of what's happened in the world, I really wanted to really address disasters and trauma and how to change our perspective. So it'll be about disasters and trauma in our lives and give you tools and subconscious. We're going to go discover some of those things about yourself and how to change your perspective. So join me October 18th for our next power call. And so I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody so we can say so long. I don't like to say goodbye, but just give us a shout out after I unmute everybody. Okay, give a shout out and say so long.
Bye, guys. Good to hear your voice again. Bye. Thank you so much for everything. I can't wait to be a part of the community. Have a great night.
I love it. Everybody's blah. You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. And I will thank you again. Love you all.
Hi, Bert. We love you too. Wishing you so much love and light from Pennsylvania.
I love you already, and it's the first one for me.
That's awesome. Thank you all so much. I love connecting with all of you and just feel my arms around you and my love for what we're doing together and playing together. And I really appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bert.
Have a great night.
You too. You're welcome.
Great call, Bert.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.